So in this video, you will see me fondle and caress my Pixel. I've warned you. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. In all seriousness, today I am going to be unboxing and reviewing the Pixel 7. This is my new mobile phone. I've never used a Pixel phone before, so I'm interested to see how kind of like cut down the operating system is and features and stuff like that compared to some of the other phones on the market that I've used before that generally have a lot of kind of like bloatware on them, I suppose. So I'll give you a bit of an opinion on the phone as well. You'll see what you get in the box. I think probably most people probably already aware what you do and don't get, but I'll go through what you get in the box, kind of like camera, speakers on it, all the various bits and bobs as well. Also go through kind of like the process of moving everything across from one phone to another, and give you a bit of an opinion at the end of it. So first of all, let's see what you get in the box. So inside the fairly minimalist packaging, well done Google for keeping that waste down. You get your shiny new phone. There's not an awful lot inside this box, but your phone is your first thing that greets you. After that, you get a small USB adapter, so it's USB-A to USB-C, and you get a fairly short USB-C cable, which is obviously what you're going to use for your charging, and then they give you this nice little doorstop, which is quite generous of them. In all seriousness, it is multilingual warranty information, quite possibly the thickest booklet of warranty information I have ever received on a device, but there you go. And then you also get your SIM slot ejector pin there as well, just on the back of this little leaflet, so make sure you don't throw that out when you get that as well. And that's it. No headphones, no power brick or anything like that. So you're going to have to buy yourself a power brick if you haven't already got one. So of course these are available on the Google store. This is the 30-watt version, and that will allow you to take advantage of that faster charging that the Pixel 7 actually supports. So with regards to your phone, unpackaging of it, not quite as the experience of Apple devices, but you've just basically got this kind of sheet on the front here, but it tells you where basically your buttons are on the front and the side of the device. And it's quite an attractive looking phone on first impressions. Nice glossy back on it, Google logo in the center of that, your buttons down the side. This is not the Pro version, so you don't have the third camera there on the camera band at the back. You've got your charging port on the bottom of it. This nice metal edging all the way around the back feels quite premium. So the phone itself, good weight in the hand and everything. So nice phone, I would say. So powering it on, you start going through the boot up process, and next steps are insert your SIM card or download an eSIM. Yes, the phone will support an eSIM. So once you've got your SIM set up, you can then choose, basically it goes through the process of setting up your phone, so you can choose if you want to copy your apps and various elements of data across from your old phone. So you just use that cable that you get and you can connect it to your old phone, and away you go. It is a pretty straightforward process. You can select what you want in terms of your apps. Don't make the mistake that I did and copy across kind of like those previous branded apps onto your new device. But it does take a while to go through. This took a good probably 20 to 30 minutes to go and copy all of this across. So just from a design point of view, I think it's pretty decent. This is kind of like the snow one. It's metal sides on it. all the way round, kind of like a brushed metal on it. You've got the band across there that's got your lenses and whatnot. It's slightly different on the Pro version. Google logo in the middle there. You've got your charge port at the bottom and speaker and presumably microphone down there. No headphone jack on it or anything like that. Long gone on kind of like these phones nowadays. On the side, you've got your power and you've got your volume rockers there, and then on this side you've got your SIM card tray as well. So it's a nice looking phone. What I would say is it is a fingerprint magnet and it is extremely slippy. It's a nice glossy back on it. Well, I warned you about that fondling at the start of the video, but it is a nice glossy back on it. Realistically, you're probably going to want to put this in a case because, I've had this sat, just on the edge of the sofa and it just keeps on falling off all the time. So, if somebody who sits at a desk all day, you'd be absolutely fine on this. But, this is going to fall out. This is going to get damaged somehow. So, consider investing in a case for this as well. In terms of weight, though, it feels a premium phone. It's not lightweight. It's not a big chunky thick phone. It is quite slim in terms of phones. Reminds me kind of slightly thicker than some of the kind of like iPhone 7s and stuff like that, iPhone 8s. Probably, if you were to take that band off the back there, this would probably be thinner than current generation iPhones, I would say. And I kind of like the band. The fact that so many of the phones you see just the camera in the corner, and they rock around on the desk when it's on a flat tabletop or something like that. Having the band there, you can kind of like just place that down, and it'll just sit there, a little bit tilted up at the top. So really, really quite nice looking in terms of a phone. The only problem is not a huge colour selection. I don't know what's up with Google on that. I think there's 3 colours: black, white and green. So if you want anything more than that, you might have to look at those third-party cases that you can get. So the display on this Pixel 7 is a 6.3 inch OLED of resolution of 2400 by 1080, and has a refresh rate of between 60 and 90 Hertz depending upon the content. That's what it says in the settings. But in my use of it, just scrolling around and things like that, it is nice and smooth. It's nice and quick. I have no issues with that at all. In terms of brightness, it does go nice and bright, I would say. It is supposed to be brighter than the Pixel 7. Certainly it's a little bit brighter than my previous phone, which was an Honor 20 Pro. So this has got kind of like with HDR content, it's kind of like 1000 nits, kind of like peaking at 1400. So again, it really does depend upon kind of like content that you're looking at, but certainly outside is meant to be an improvement. So you should be able to have better visibility of your phone when you're in brighter conditions outside. So one of the big things with the Pixel 7 is Face Unlock. Now, I've come from a phone that had Face Unlock, fingerprint and Face Unlock, so this isn't like some kind of wow factor, but certainly using it on the Pixel 7, it is super quick. It is actually quicker at unlocking via my face than I get to go and stick my finger on the fingerprint reader, which is pretty good as well. It's all, the fingerprint reader is on the display itself, so it just kind of like illuminates a part of the screen where your fingerprint is being read. Again, that is nice and quick as well. Not the quickest I've used before, but still pretty decent. So you've got both options there: Face Unlock or fingerprint reader. If you're going to secure your phone in that way, and of course you've got PIN code and stuff like that as well. So in terms of audio, well, the Pixel 7 is not too shabby. There's no 3.5mm audio jack on the bottom of it. They've long gone pretty much on phones now. What you do get, you kind of get you know, a little speaker on the bottom here, and then you get one. You know, it's not really obvious. There's like a little little hole at the top there, but you get another speaker at the top. So effectively, you get stereo speakers. So I'm just going to play a little bit of music. This isn't at 100%, by the way, but I'm just going to play a little bit of music from one of my previous videos on the channel, just so you can kind of hear what that's like. And yeah, let me know what you think. So, you know, not the kind of like the biggest, bassiest kind of speakers on the planet, but will be more than sufficient for your kind of like your YouTube, your Netflix and stuff like that. You probably stick headphones on anyway when you're watching movies, but, you know, still pretty decent speakers. You know, you're nice and clear, you know, there's nothing really distorted on that. So, you know, they've obviously, you know, not scrimped particularly on the speakers, I would say. So if you like to take a lot of photos with your phone, then I would say the Pixel 7 probably has you sorted. You know, the Pixel 7 has 2 lenses on the back, the Pro has 3, so the 7 has a 50 megapixel main lens, and it has a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. You've got 8 times super zoom functionality there as well. And you know, if you're take selfies and stuff like that, you've got a 10.8 megapixel front mounted lens on there, so not a massive difference from the Pixel 6. So if, you know, if that was kind of the thing that, you know, you use on your phone all the time and you've recently bought a Pixel 6, it's probably not worth upgrading, to be honest with you. So in terms of recording videos, well, you know, it'll support 4K at 60 FPS, so nice buttery smooth videos there for you, and yeah, pretty much expected at this price point, I would say. So as an aside, well, the Pixel 7's got Google's new Tensor G2 processor, and ultimately, you know, that benefits the phone in a number of areas. One of those in particular, I guess, you know, is the you know, talking about photos. You know, if you take photos and maybe some of your photos aren't that great, then, you know, it's got the ability to unblur your photos. You know, it does that by kind of like some of its pre-processing that takes place. So you know, lots of things like that. You know, the AI processing within the phone is improved. It's got new Titan M2 processor, so increased security as well. So, you know, there's kind of like incremental reasons to upgrade from a Pixel 6, but there's no massive thing to upgrade from a Pixel 6. However, you know, if you've got maybe a phone which is you know, probably like 2 years old or something like that, then probably quite a significant jump in kind of like feature set compared to what you've got. That's what I've come from. You know, my Honor phone was you know, roughly 2.5 years old, and whilst it's got some of this functionality, you know, it is significantly improved on the Pixel 7. I think one of the other things that's noticeable as well is this has got the latest version of the Android operating system. So, you know, quite a step up from the version that was on my Honor phone. And one of the things that really, you know, when I was looking at kind of like what phone to go and upgrade to, that made me choose the Pixel 7 was the whole policy around security updates. And, you know, as somebody who's previously used an iPhone, you're kind of used to, you know, 5-6 years worth of updates coming through on your phone before ultimately, you know, Apple bricks it in some way because, you know, the software is just, you know, it can't perform adequately on your phone. But, you know, with the Honor phone, you know, I just got 2 years worth of updates on it. Security updates stopped, operating system updates stopped. You know, effectively, you know, it just wasn't a secure phone anymore. You know, Samsung now offer, you know, long-term updates on their phone. Google, you know, this is good until, you know, kind of like 2025, 26, something like that. You know, there's a number of reasons to get a phone that has a long-term support on it. Certainly if it's, you know, a decent phone, a good spec phone to start off with, and you're somebody who looks after your phone, So, you know, consider that when you're looking at upgrading as well, I guess, you know, is one of the things, is not just what you're going to pay for the phone, but ultimately, you know, how long your phone will stay relevant, I guess. You know, if you're going to get your phone at £200, you know, you're going to have to buy another one in 2 to 3 years because, you know, it's kind of like, you know, not secure anymore. So in terms of battery on the Pixel 7, well, if you're coming from a Pixel 6, it is actually slightly smaller capacity than a Pixel 6. So this is 4,355 milliamp hours. Google says this is good for 24 hours worth of use. Now, you know, I've had this for a couple of days. Certainly, yeah, you know, it's all been during the setup process, so a lot of heavy use on the phone. But you know, probably after about, I would say 10 hours, something like that, it was roughly around about 50%. So you know, that's a lot of installing of apps and you know, a lot of on-screen time. So I would say that 24 hours is probably quite accurate. You know, if you've got it in kind of like battery saver mode, then you know, it's something ridiculous like 72 hours or something like that. So yeah, definitely you know, a good all day use out of your phone without having to kind of like charge all the way back up to 100%. And you know, if you do find that you're going to need to be able to charge your phone, then obviously, you know, it does support fast charging. You know, if you've got one of the fast chargers, so you're going to need that 30-watt charger, but it apparently, you know, it'll get to roughly around about 50% in about 30 minutes, so not too bad. And you know, if you've got a wireless charger as well, then it supports wireless charging. So plenty of options there if you find yourself running a little bit low on juice. So in terms of the operating system, well, you know, it's the latest and greatest. So, you know, lots of functionality in here, lots of customization with it, way more than what I've had available on, you know, for example, like my Honor phone, or even, you know, an iPhone that I've had previously. You know, it's probably a little bit one of those things, you know, it's going to take a while to go and find everything in the operating system. You know, kind of coming from something that was, you know, Android 11, I think it was, you know, I'm still looking for things and can't find them where I'm expecting them to be, and then find, you know, I need to click on an edit button to go and add those things in. So, you know, it takes a little bit of time. I'm sure I'll get used to it soon enough, but you know, overall, you know, pretty pleased with it. It's nice and quick. I've not had any kind of crashes or freezes or, you know, anything like that. The phone's just worked absolutely fine. You know, call quality is really nice and clear, and it just feels like a really good, you know, quality premium phone, I guess. You know, price point, is it worth paying more, significantly more, for the Pro version? I'm not quite so sure, to be honest with you. You know, it's if you really want to be taking that quality of pictures, maybe invest in a good, you know, mirrorless camera or something like that. But yeah, you know, as a mobile phone that takes, you know, good pictures, good video, good for, you know, all general round use and all that kind of stuff, I think this is pretty good. Whether it's worth you upgrading from a Pixel 6, I think I'd probably hold on, to be honest. By all accounts here, from what I'm seeing of reviews and things like that. But you know, if you're coming from something that's, you know, maybe a couple of years old, you know, 2-3 years old or something like that, of a lower spec phone, then absolutely, you know, this probably should be on your list of options. And you know, I don't think there's you know, much in terms of quality, you know, that matches the quality without going up to something like an iPhone, which is significantly more in price. So there you go, guys. That is my kind of like unbox and mini review of the Pixel 7. You know, my overall thoughts on it. You know, let me know your thoughts down below in the video. You know, if you've gone and bought one of these, how are you getting on with it? You know, if you've got the Pixel 6 and, you know, the reason why you've not upgraded, let me know down below. Or did you choose something else? You know, why did you, you know, if you were thinking about this and you've gone for something else, why? What was your reason behind that? Let me know down below in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.